myself, I'm not just gonna stand here and wait. All I just decide what is to be my fate. All by myself, I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Well, this is embarrassing. I forgot to hit the little switch to go into vertical mode, so yeah, give me a second before we go into the first video, since I have to pick out the horizontal versions of these videos. We're professional here on auditing insanity on a live cast in front of 4 people. Hey, don't you ever forget that we're professional. So let's dive into the first one. The first story tonight is about the, of course, GoFundMe market, with some surprises that we'll talk about after the story finishes. And yes, Pants, if you're still here, it's vertical. It's not, or it's horizontal. It's not a vertical stream. With our new disclaimer. Apathy towards LIA highlights half month. It's officially mid-month, so we're going to take our standard look at the GoFundMe market for the first half of September, after noting that our own ongoing expenses account took Saturday with a $60 take, beating out the now second-place Defend DMA in the fight against corruption and oathbreakers, which saw a take of $25. For the first half of the month so far, let's eliminate those funds that haven't seen any action for the month. Hendry to support Craig's work, support Press with Rancors Legal Fund, Chile de Castro Legal Aid Fund, Donation Fund, Help People Fund, Chile de Castro Legal Defense Fund, Crime Scene Tape Illegal Arrest Fund, Just Despite Chile de Castro, support Delete Laws from the Tyranny He Fights, Unofficial, Help for Public Safety Fight Fraud Recovered, Long Island Audits Unlawful Arrest and Constitutional Rights, Long Island Audits Support the Fight Against Unlawful Arrest, Long Island Audits Fund Legal Defense Against Unlawful Arrest, Long Island Audits Help with Criminal Defense Attorney for this case, Long Island Audits Help LIA with legal fees to fight Tyrant's lawsuit, Long Island Audits Help with billboard truck purchase to expose tyranny, Help BZ Watchdog hold police accountable, Floyd Wallace Thailand or Philippines tour, Bring Back Auditing America, and To a Pre help keep Butterfly Boy afloat. A significant takeaway from the goose eggs list is a complete lack of donations to Press with Rancors Defense Fund. Despite Jose Chile de Castro owing over $20,000 on the fund, if he's decided to still honor the debt, there's been no movement or promotion of his friend's campaign, leaving those to wonder exactly what's going on to make up for the money he owes. Otherwise, the list isn't too surprising except for the total collapse of Long Island Audit, which has seen no donations whatsoever to any of his campaigns for the month. His support the fight against tyranny and help with billboard truck campaigns are usually his biggest performers, and their goose eggs are noticeable. Chile de Castro's doing a little better, with 2 of his campaigns, Justice for All Legal Battle and Lawyer Fund Only, earning $20 each for the half month, which kind of spoils our next section, the list of what actually earned anything for the half month. Help Christopher Direct D. Ruff clear his name comes in at number 5 with a $15 take for the half month. Number 4 is a tie between Jose Chile de Castro's Justice for All Legal Battle and Lawyer Fund Only funds with $20 takes each. Number 3 is a $125 take for Defend Direct D in the fight against corruption and oathbreakers. Number 2 is the surprise entry of Blue Bacon's covered defense costs against a frivolous lawsuit fund with a $150 take. At number 1 is our ongoing expenses fund with a $240 take for the month. We'll update this list at the end of the month to see if any of the goose eggs have rebounded. On that note, if you'd like to assure that our fund continues to outperform all the bigger, more popular, less smelly, more dateable, and less awkward funds, we'd be remiss if we didn't remind you that you can continue to force the dread writer Jim Finch to keep writing this dreadful column each day by contributing to the GoFundMe run by this very channel. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on reallycoolsite.org. Okay, a couple of notes with this. The disclaimer at the start of the new articles is because, believe it or not, we have people who think I'm lazy because this is an audio-only podcast. And I don't know. I guess I could put stock footage in each one of these and let you look at stupid people that have nothing to do with anything, but honestly, I do 3 to 4 stories a day. I do a live stream, this live stream every night, and then produce a newscast. So I don't know when I'm going to get time to do all that, but hey, that's the biggest criticism we get in the folks from Chile or whomever who come in and call me a bootlicker and all that stuff. So now they've got a disclaimer. It's not a big deal. Now, the other takeaways from this previous article was that LIA is goose egging. I mean, totally goose egging. For all those campaigns, not even a random take for the last 15 days, that is saying something. And that is seriously concerning, or I'd be concerned if I were LIA. I was turned off by LIA by his appearances post the whole Dr. Phil scandal, where he was bragging about how much money he was making and all that stuff. So it's a sign. I know it's only 2 weeks, but seriously, his 7 campaigns without a donation, that's saying something. Next article up, we're going to go give it 1 or 2. Side chat, put in 1 or 2. Number 1 is for a stupid person, and number 2 is for a stupider person. So 1 or 2, side chat. If not, I'll just let Rose pick. Pants puts 1 or 2. Parsons puts 3. Anybody else out there? Put your pick inside chat. That's the one I'll go with. Otherwise, I'll just pick one myself. Okay, so we are going with stupid. That's right. Wonder makes the final pick there with stupid. So, stupid it is. Jason Dollarhide moved to state prison. Former YouTuber and Jose Chile de Castro associate Jason Dollarhide was moved from overflow housing at the Cleveland County Detention Center in Oklahoma to the Lexington Assessment and Reception Center in Lexington, Oklahoma last week. The Assessment and Reception Center is a male-only minimum, medium, and maximum security facility opened in 1978 and is essentially the staging area for Oklahoma's prison system to determine where inmates need to be placed within their system. According to their website, Dollarhide will be housed there while the ODOC staff reviews his sentencing documents, enters his information into agency systems, and assesses him to determine which state facility should house him next according to his risks and needs. Dollarhide is currently serving 2 concurrent 15-year sentences for assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, which he took a plea deal for earlier in the year. Dollarhide had been embraced by Jose Chile de Castro after de Castro saw a video of Dollarhide's arrest in a deer-watching area of an Oklahoma park. The two became close friends, with de Castro claiming to send money to Dollarhide for commissary funding before de Castro himself went to jail earlier in the year. De Castro at one time also attempted to convince Dollarhide's wife Heather to file for divorce from her husband in order to settle a child services issue while he was imprisoned. with the ultimate plan announced on DeCastro's own live stream to reunite the couple after Heather Dollarhide regained custody of their daughter. Heather Dollarhide ended her association with DeCastro after claiming she was going to file SA charges against YouTuber Floyd Wallace, who allegedly acted inappropriately with Heather Dollarhide and a female friend when he came to interview her on behalf of DeCastro. Despite the incident, Jason Dollarhide and DeCastro remain close friends, with DeCastro overfunding Dollarhide's commissary account. On more than one occasion, Dollarhide had stockpiled so much from the commissary that guards intervened and confiscated his stockpile of supplies. The former YouTuber complained bitterly about the confiscation to DeCastro and semi-regular calls featured on DeCastro's live streams. Some have blamed Dollarhide's harsh sentencing on his association with DeCastro, claiming that the prison system in Oklahoma somehow knows about DeCastro and treats Dollarhide worse from the association. They also claim that Dollarhide is a sweet man who loves smoking out and would never hurt anyone. Those folks also ignore the fact that Jason Dollarhide still has multiple outstanding charges in Cleveland County, Oklahoma, reaching back several years, with an overall criminal record reaching back decades, with a history of violence against both civilians and police officers long before his association with DeCastro. His most recent arrest, which happened in July of 2023 for allegedly assaulting a police officer with his vehicle with his daughter in the car, was so bad that all of the bail bondsmen in Oklahoma have refused to work with him, with some in fact removing his previous bonds, leaving him on the hook for a bond of over $140,000. DeCastro attempted to help lower the bond, and at one point to intervene to allow Dollarhide to be let out of jail to attend his father's funeral, have all failed. Dollarhide is expected to serve 2/3 of his current sentence if he gets time off for good behavior, which would see him released in 2034, provided his outstanding charges result in convictions that are served concurrently. Yeah, it wasn't much of a story on Dollarhide. It was going to happen. He's going to be in jail a long time. And I don't think Chile ever grasped the situation and the amount of time that Jason Dollarhide had always been facing. These charges are assault on cops. That means you're not going to see the light of day for a long time if you're convicted. It's just one of those things, and Chile was delusional when he thought that they'd simply let Jason Dollarhide out of jail to attend his father's funeral and lower his bond to something that they could afford. I mean, I don't know. It's Chile. Chile is himself so out of touch that you would wonder why he wouldn't keep up with his best friend or his only friend's the time they're facing. But for goodness sake. One more story before we're out of here tonight. And it's of someone doing something far stupider than, well, not far stupider than The Weeknd, because there was Eli yesterday. And Eli's currently live, which I'm going to have to watch after this. Wonderful. But we'll see. So let's hit in the last story, which is, of course, DirectD. DirectD banned from YouTube streaming. Christopher DirectD Ruff went live on Saturday only to have his stream removed by YouTube after he flashed a replica BB gun on camera, which YouTube claimed violates their terms of service and implemented a live stream ban on his main channel. The YouTuber immediately took to Twitter to protest the decision after encountering an apparent YouTube customer service bot that was less than helpful. It claimed that YouTube's internal team reviewed his appeal of the suspension, and it was the final decision of the team. Ruff countered that the appeal was submitted and he received the final response within a minute of the submission, and that no human could have had time to review his appeal in that period. The bot assured him that the decision was not made by YouTube's support team and that they had no way to intervene or override the decision. The bot also did not give him any information on the length of his suspension, as the only warning he received was that his video was taken down and the live streaming had been suspended, but it was not a content warning or a content strike. Ruff attempted to appeal to the YouTube creators team on Twitter, writing, "I was handling a BB gun, not a firearm. I made this clear in my live, and I even showed that it was not a firearm, but rather a replica. Never had an issue before, and YouTube TOS only speaks on firearms. By definition, a BB gun is not a firearm. The mistake is preventing me from live streaming." The team YouTube account wrote him back, "Total understanding where you're coming from. We'll take a look into this and let you know what we find. Hold tight. It might take a couple of days to hear back." Ruff responded, "I appreciate the response, but a few days? I'm currently restricted from live streaming with no idea on how long. That's a problem, especially when I'm familiar with YouTube TOS and I know I didn't violate them. My channel has been around for 7 years now, and I have never experienced this kind of issue. How can I violate the firearms policy when I don't even own one?" Neither the YouTube creators nor Team YouTube accounts have provided a further response as of press time. Ruff's clear issue is that YouTube removed a video featuring a replica of an actual firearm. YouTube bots are not qualified to determine the difference between a replica and a firearm and took away his ability to livestream based on that determination. Also at issue is the fact that Ruff is a convicted felon and is not allowed by law to own a traditional firearm, but is allowed to own BB guns, including replica guns that look like other firearms. Ruff is conscious of his status and has been protective of his right to own the replica guns without getting flagged as violating his status as a felon. A felon having a firearm or a legal weapon in Arizona, where Ruff lives, is a Class 4 felony and carries a sentence of 1.5 to 3 years in jail upon a guilty verdict. Ruff's live streaming ability has not been restored as of press time. Yeah, he was stupid to show a gun on camera. I don't care if it was a BB gun and showing it around, "Oh, it's a BB gun, see, there's BBs in it." Well, any gun to a bot is a gun. And if it doesn't look like a squirt gun, then you're gonna get your channel in serious trouble. We'll follow up on this tomorrow, but seriously, yeah, it's just one of those things where you're wondering, why are you pitching the fit? Other than he's been relying on his live streams a lot lately, and we just don't know what's going on as far as how long the ban is. So, as to Mike, Mike, we are actually taking advantage of YouTube's internal advertising programs. So we're starting to run this like a business, so we will be running ad campaigns from now and then to bring in some new subscribers. I think I spent $25 on their advertising campaign. There's no guaranteed views, there's no guaranteed subscribers, but we did have a new batch come in, and we're happy to see everybody come in. Let's hope they stick around. It's just one of the things that we are doing. You can also see that we've changed the way that we do thumbnails to make them a little bit more interactive, to make them look like magazine covers, I guess you'd say, rather than trying to cover up the art. We're trying to display it fully. I spent part of the afternoon today during the Go Team game doing more stills and getting things formatted in a way where it's going to fit without being overshadowed by the text in those thumbnails. You might also notice that we've got new thumbnails for these shows. I'm going to rotate through about 10 of them, depending on what day it is. And we may continue to revise things as we go along. Just a matter of how much time I have. Anywho, that's a lot of rambles from me at one time. Remember, tonight we are off, but tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock where it counts. That is noon on Mountain Time and 11 o'clock on the Pacific Time. We'll be back with Drunk Girl Theater. Tomorrow night we'll be back here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern for another one of these. And tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, we will have the produced version of this show, the newscast itself, premiering. and I'll be releasing all of the articles that we just featured to members in a few minutes. They'll be members only till like 8 or 9 o'clock tonight Eastern time. With that, thank you all for joining us tonight, and hope to see you tomorrow or either later tonight or tomorrow, as we've got the live newscast premiere and then Drunk Girl Theater next on the agenda. With that, I have to remember to hit the horizontal end theme because, of course, I screwed this one up and forgot to go into vertical streaming. So, yes, just for pants, we were vertical this entire time, or horizontal this entire time. Good night, all.